YouTube, what's good? It's your boy Dion back with another video. If you were new, how you doing? If you've seen some of my videos in the past, welcome back. A lot has changed since my last upload. Um, I mean, I've been funded with 5 different live accounts. I've changed prop firms. I've changed the strategy and the way in which I trade. And honestly, for the first time in a long time, I feel more calm and more peace with my trading. It's not crazy, not exciting, but just calm. And to be honest, it's probably the biggest progress that I've made in my trading so far. All right, so back at the crib, record just a couple updates as far as, what has changed. I've been funded five times now. So some of the previous videos, I think up until that point, I'd never been able to um, get a live account or get a funded account. So I think back in August of 2024, like I passed my first eval and I've been funded with over 5 accounts. I found another prop firm that has a lot of different rules. One of which is that with this prop firm, I can't trade small caps. So I've switched over to like trading large caps, and it's been really good. The difference with this one is there is a trailing drawdown. So with the trailing drawdown, I'm more focused on just taking base hits, more one-to-one trades, not necessarily looking to hold on to like trades longer. And like with this new prop firm, instead of trying to kind of fight them, I just kind of go with the flow. Instead of trying to fight the rules, I just adjusted to it. I moved to large cap, and honestly, it's been a lot easier to stick to my rules and stick to my trading plan. I feel like with the large cap, it's a lot slower. The volatility in the small cap, those stocks, they move so quick, and like a single minute candle, 1 minute candle can blow your account out if you are taking too much size or if you're over risk. Whereas with the large cap, it's cleaner moves. I feel like it's more predictable moves. And, if you are sticking with tighter or better risk management, as far as your position size, you don't experience those same type of blowouts like you would with a small cap. So that is a big win. And the thing with trading the large cap versus the small caps, is less volatility, and like I've noticed a whole lot less emotion that goes into that, which is a big change. Another big goal of mine, or big change I say for me this year and as of late, is just really trying to stick to one trade a day. I have heard this time and time again from a lot of different traders, many different other people in the space talk about like how less is more. And I was just like reluctant. I did not want to do it. I felt like it was too slow. I wanted to get funded, make money faster. And the one trade a day just wasn't going to get me there. But I have gotten so much further in my trading by trying to stick to one trade a day. Do I do it every day? No. But honestly, it's like way better than before. Like before, I would say I would take one trade, end up taking like 5. But now it's having that guardrail in place. Honestly, it is a big difference. So if that's something that you were dealing with, like overtrading, really try to hold yourself accountable. Really hold yourself accountable to trying to. Will it happen all the time? No, but trying to stick to one trade a day, game changer. And talking about having these guardrails in place, that is one of the best things that has happened to me, and one of the areas that has really helped me get a better control and over my overall trading. Some of the guardrails that I put in place, that is pretty much absolute. I really don't. It's very rare that I go outside of my trading time. So I trade from 9:40 to 11:05. That's when my account gets locked out. So even if I wanted to take more trades, I couldn't. So any open positions that I don't have limits in or like orders in, I'm just in the trade and I'll just get exited or closed out at the end of the day. But that really hasn't happened. So at all. So sticking to my trade time, yeah, literally I can't trade. So the the plan or the process that I normally try to stick to is I'll look at the trade, look at momentum, see where I want to place a trade, and I'm really not trading that many stocks now that I'm messing with the large cap. But what I typically do is calculate my risk size, whether it's a 0.5% or a percent. Figure out my stop loss and my take profit, and I put in those conditional orders. And then the goal is just to lock the account out like straight away and just walk away, close down the platform. So I'm not even tempted to take additional trades. I'm not able to do that every day. Sometimes I still get into wanting to like manage the trade, which I find like I'm just not a great trade manager. A lot of times I'll take profits early, or I'll have a temptation or a desire to want to like average down or move my stop loss or not put a stop loss in. So I feel like I am a lot better on the days when I just put in, calculate my size first. That's kind of the biggest thing, because there have been days where I get into the market and I just take an estimated position size, and that's really not where I want my trading to be. I want my losses to be consistent, and I want my wins honestly to be kind of consistent. I don't really want to have these big swings, because if I take too much profit in the day, it kind of messes with my psychology. It makes me want to, it taps a level of greed where I want to take more and more versus just being content and happy with the market moves. Because I mean, we all know the market is constantly, going up and down and moving, and it's never going to be a situation where it's enough. So just having a cap on the amount that I make, and then really trying to like, pare down and cap the losses. And, by doing this and having these guardrails in place, I mean, I would say like it's almost night and day, like who I am now versus the way I used to trade in the past. It removes a lot of that emotion that creeps up on all of us, greed and fear and, just lack of confidence from not following your plan, or, just not being able to stick to your rules. By just having these guardrails in place, it eliminates a lot of that stuff. The last couple years and a lot of the evals, I would be trading pre-market, and I would blow several accounts before before the trading day starts at 9:30. So now I can't even get into my trading app before 9:40. And even if I wanted to, just look at the market after hours, I can't even take trades. So I'm locked out of it. And that has really helped me a lot to, not overtrade and save a lot of the money um, that I'm investing. That detachment, it feels great, because now I'm able to go in, place a trade, set my stop loss and take profit and really just walk away. That in itself has been incredible. The feeling of detachment, and that's kind of where I want to continue to, shape my trading, my day trading, where I'm really detached and I'm not so driven by my emotions on a day to day, trade to trade basis. It really, really puts me in a funk for the rest of the day if I'm get outside of my rules and like allow my emotions to just be like on this seesaw where I'm just up and down all the time. And my goal honestly is to not even look at my trade until after hours is over, 8 o'clock Eastern, I think I have my account to unlock at 7 o'clock, but a lot of times I don't look at it till after 8 o'clock or so. And like that way, if there would be any emotions or whatever, I can't even do anything about it. So it's really good to help me with that detachment, more so than I ever would have thought. Because one of my biggest challenges was overtrading and not calculating my risk size, and just kind of being a little careless with my entries, and I would get emotional and blow accounts. And so by doing this now, like it completely eliminates that. Me being detached and having the detachment really does feel like freedom. I'm not gonna lie. Uh, Definitely try it if you're kind of struggling with those over trading feelings, that greed feelings, or that that negative self talk or that doubt where you have a plan in place and then you just kind of like you have a bad trade, you just go on tilt, and then you just spiral and like blow up several accounts in one day. Like I'm not saying that it can't happen now, but the frequency is a whole lot less than in years past. And one of the best things about like trading less for me is, man, like it's made it obviously the less emotions, but it makes like journaling a whole lot easier versus like trying to document or like capture every like 20, 30 trades in a day. Like that's just crazy. It's too much. If you have a software, even where it kind of record like TradeZilla or some kind of software where you can where it tracks your trading, it's still difficult to journal it and go in and like think about what you were doing or what were you thinking at the time. By taking one trade a day, it makes journaling way easier. That way you can go back and see exactly whatever setup that you're trading, is it working, and it just makes the whole accountability and data collection that much easier. And trading less, it's kind of eliminated FOMO for me. Like I don't feel like I'm missing out. um, and one of the best things, because I work, it doesn't consume me throughout the day, and I'm not constantly thinking about wanting to, take more trades. And it's kind of, I guess it's kind of weird to say it, but like doing nothing is actually productive. Um, as a trader, you bleed out less, and it's just better for your overall trading. It feels like the more you do, you should be able to win more, but the more trades and the more activity you have, you just expose yourself to more risk and putting your money in the market more than you need to. You kind of setting yourself up for failure. So I know it sounds crazy, but the whole detachment and doing less has been a big help. All right, so let's be honest. um Have I taken payouts yet with those 5 funded accounts? The answer is no, I have not. Um, have I wanted to? Yes, of course. But um, I've implemented some changes. Um, Now I'm kind of shifting into this mindset of really focusing on the process more than I ever have. I'm not trying to rush it. um, the 2 years of like blown accounts and blown funded accounts have all been because I've been like watching my P&L and really just trying to chase the money. I'm really trying to shift the way that I think about my trading and really lock in on the process. And you've heard it, I've heard it a million different times, a lot of different ways. Trade your process, focus on the process, and the payouts will take care of themselves. I think deep down, I didn't really believe it, or didn't want to believe it, or felt that I had something in me that I could just, I don't know. I think I had something in me where I was an anomaly, where I was an outlier, and I could just speed up the process and skip steps and start getting payouts because, I was different. I was more talented, but like the market has humbled me to a way where I know that me trying to speed up the process and go faster doesn't work. I've tried it every different way. And now I'm starting to, change my tune and really trying to focus on trading the process, having these guardrails and rules in place, and being okay with the outcome, factoring my risk before taking the trade, putting in my stop losses, and just being okay with the result. This firm that I traded with now, they have a trailing drawdown. So now I'm focused on just locking in base hits, no home runs, really focus on stacking those singles, and an occasional double. Home runs. I know I've had home runs in my trading and in my evals and on the live accounts, and still hasn't resulted in payouts. So really just focus and on stacking those singles and trying really hard to make my trading process as boring as possible. We're talking just singles on top of singles, and knowing that an average week, has a couple green days, a couple red days, maybe a no trade day, but as long as I have more winners and losers and my losers are smaller, I'll be able to continually get funded, scale, and take payouts. The biggest thing that I'm focused on now is protecting the downside. And before it was just lip service. It was just a thing that I said because that's what traders said. But now I know that protecting the downside is the most important thing as a risk manager or a day trader. And for me, I can honestly say that I have definitely had a bit of an identity shift in regards to my trading and me as an overall trader. I know that I am not currently a profitable trader. Have I pulled money out of the markets? Yes. Have I done it consistently? No. In the past, in terms of trading, I thought the way to make more money was to trade more. I thought that by trading more, it would give me an opportunity to make more trades, more accounts, and we're talking about like more activity. That was my game plan. Now I'm really realizing that it's all about less trades, smaller size, more patience. That's really the real edge. That's the real edge. So I am not there yet, but this feels sustainable. And this new way of trading, it feels sustainable and it's new. So if you find yourself still struggling with overtrading and you know in this spiral of like blowing accounts and wrestling to get funded and to get payouts, hey, I'm there with you. You know what I mean? I understand what you're going through. This is me just kind of updating me with my process and some of the successes that I've been able to achieve. And the live accounts is something that I hadn't done in a long time, and now the frequency at which I'm keeping these accounts, these evals, and the overall process of trading one trade a day, or really minimizing my trades, really honoring the my position sizing has made the world of difference. And I know with this new mindset, this new way of trading, this more patience, this bigger picture, not looking just to get a payout for the week or for the month, but really having this mindset of trading over the course of, a month, 6 months, a year, and several years down the road. Like, this is sustainable and that's new. So I appreciate you tuning in. Um, Make sure you like and subscribe, and we'll catch you in the next one. All right. Peace.